Forget what you think you know about ghost stories. Forget haunted castles and monsters lurking in dark woods. Forget fairy tales where good always triumphs over evil. What if I told you there was a world where the most captivating stories weren't about heroes slaying dragons, but about a lonely scholar who falls in love with a ghost? Where the most terrifying creatures could also be the most compassionate. Where the line between monster and savior was as thin as morning mist. Welcome to the world of Liaozhai, ancient China's answer to the Twilight Zone. The scholars who collected whispers. These stories weren't born from one man's imagination, but gathered from the shadows of everyday life. Meet Pu Songling, a brilliant scholar trapped in a cruel irony. Despite his extraordinary talent, he failed China's imperial exams again and again. The very system that should have recognized his genius instead cast him aside. But failure became his greatest gift to the world. Legend tells us that Pu Songling set up a humble tea stall outside his home, offering free tea to anyone who would share something far more valuable, their supernatural encounters. Travelers would stop and whisper tales of fox spirits they'd glimpsed at crossroads, scholars would share stories of ghostly lovers, and villagers would recount strange happenings that defied explanation. For decades, he collected these whispers, these rumors, these impossible truths. The result, Liaozhai, strange stories from a Chinese studio, were 500 tales that would become China's most beloved supernatural anthology. A universe where nothing is what it seems. This isn't one epic saga. It's a kaleidoscope of short, razor-sharp glimpses into a realm where our world and the supernatural bleed into each other. To navigate this universe, you need to meet its three key inhabitants. The scholar is our guide, not a knight in shining armor, but often a poor, lonely, yet educated man. He represents humanity at its most curious and vulnerable, the perfect lens through which we experience wonder and terror in equal measure. The ghost isn't your typical Western specter. Forget the chain-rattling phantom seeking revenge. In Liaozhai, ghosts are souls with unfinished business. Yes, but that business might be love, gratitude, or simply the need to set things right. They're not harbingers of horror, but complex beings caught between worlds. But the true stars of this universe are the fox spirits. In Chinese mythology, foxes aren't just clever animals, they're beings of immense potential. Through centuries of cultivation and spiritual practice, they can master shape-shifting, achieve immortality, and gain wisdom that surpasses human understanding. A fox spirit could be your greatest enemy or your most devoted ally. She might appear as a breathtaking woman who drains men's life force through seduction, or as a loyal wife whose supernatural wisdom lifts her scholar husband from poverty to greatness. Beautiful, powerful, and always more than they appear, fox spirits have one weakness. In moments of vulnerability or intoxication, their true nature might slip through a foxtail glimpsed in moonlight, revealing the magic beneath the mask. Stories that haunt the soul. The tales themselves dance between the absurd and the profound, often within the same breath. Consider this. A lazy student, desperate for easy success, seeks out a Taoist master to learn magic. The master teaches him to walk through solid walls, surely the ultimate cheating code for life. Bursting with excitement, the student races home to demonstrate his newfound power to his wife. He takes a running start at the wall and he smacks face first into solid stone, earning nothing but a spectacular bruise. The magic, it turns out, only works when the heart is pure and intentions humble. Then there are stories that pierce deeper. A scholar becomes obsessed with a woman painted on a temple mural. As he stares, lost in her beauty, the painting comes alive. He steps through the wall itself into the painted world, marries the women, and lives what feels like a lifetime of perfect happiness. But paradise can't last. He's discovered and cast out, finding himself back in the temple, staring at the wall. Only moments have passed in the real world, but his heart carries the weight of a lifetime of lost love. The real magic of Liaozhai, here's what makes these stories extraordinary. They're not just entertainment. Pu Songling wielded supernatural tales like a sword, cutting straight to the heart of human nature and social injustice. In his world, The real monsters often wore human faces, corrupt officials who crushed the poor, cruel landlords who showed no mercy, hypocrites who preached virtue while practicing vice. Meanwhile, ghosts demonstrated more honor than the living, and fox spirits showed greater loyalty than humans. Pu Songling created a universe where the supernatural wasn't something to be conquered or feared, but understood. A mirror world that reflects our own humanity, our flaws, our desires, our capacity for both cruelty and transcendent love. The story continues. The world of Liaozhai sprawls before us like an infinite scroll, filled with romance that defies death, horror that chills the bones, and wonder that expands the soul. Some stories shine brighter and burn darker than others. Next time, we'll unfurl one of Liaozhai's most famous and terrifying tales. A story about beauty that masks unspeakable evil, about trust betrayed and love corrupted. A story that has haunted readers for centuries. Join us for Painted Skin, where nothing, not even your own reflection, can be trusted. What supernatural beings from your culture's folklore fascinate you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to Tales from the Eastern Scroll for more journeys into the mystical East.